Hi guys, so today I thought we'd carry on our little mini-series where we're looking through some of the arrangements we've done over the last year, and yeah, just letting you guys see how they kind of came together, what the thought process behind them were. And so yeah, just before we start, I hope everyone's still staying well, and yeah, keeping busy. But yeah, we're going to look at Sigur Ros today. Which is one of my personal favourites. I absolutely love them. They're an amazing band, and our Sigur Ros song is kind of a 3-song. I wouldn't say medley because it kind of flows between them quite like one at a time. But yeah, I guess it's a medley. But yeah, the link to our video will be above, and also I'll put the link to the 3 separate songs of Sigur Ros, and you should definitely check them out anyway because they're amazing. But yeah, it's just good to kind of listen to them first before watching this, just so you get an idea of where this whole thing is based from. So yeah, today we're going to do Sigur Ros. So this is very different to a lot of the songs we do. You know, we quite like to do quite beats and bass heavy songs just because we find them quite fun, and we think that's one of our stronger styles. But this one, I mean, Mida doesn't even come in for the first few minutes, well, I say maybe not a few minutes, but like probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's really a different style, sat back. But yeah, I've got the recording audios, it's not mixed, so you'll hear it dry, but dry with no reverb and effects on. But yeah, it's going to be very different to the video because the video is very heavily reverbed and very heavily affected in that kind of echoey sense to kind of mimic the massive sound that Sigur Ros make. But yeah, you're going to hear it completely without any echo or reverb on today. So it's going to be a bit of a different experience, but we'll dive in and hopefully it'll be a nice, new look on what we did on the song. So yeah, I'll play a little bit at the start. We'll just start like we did before. We'll start with the first verse, kind of go through intro first verse and just go through it, and we'll talk through it as we go. So yeah, so this, I guess, like one of the main points of this arrangement is kind of the contrast between lots of textures and lots of sound to then minimal moments. And this intro is really kind of, yeah, I guess it's kind of really trying to get in a lot of texture. I mean, Sigur Ros are very well known for their kind of experimental sound. Like the lead singer, his kind of what he plays is a electric guitar that he plays with kind of a bow, like a cello bow, and it really makes kind of unearthly sound. So that's kind of where the inspiration for a lot of this is from. But I guess in order to get this kind of big, warm sound, really what we've done is try to incorporate lots of different kind of vocal sounds together. So we've got Josh here. Josh is just on his drums like he was before. Nice setting that he's kind of keeping the rhythm, I guess, really. So it's important that he has those D's on the drums, like we said before, where it really is sure of where the note starts. And then if we add bells in, he's again doing another rhythmic thing. So we've got him on a do because it's got that hard D, which is adding again the definition on where the note starts, and they're kind of keeping the rhythm going, I guess, here. You can hear them bouncing off each other. So I'm just starting it again just so we can keep looping. So then we add in Heinzie. So Heinzie's kind of adding in this ethereal kind of thing. It's a very Sigur Ros sound, in my opinion. They do a lot of, the lead singer is very well known for his falsetto, and he does a lot of kind of falsetto tricks, and that's kind of bringing in the element. And now he's settled in a bit more towards what, he's doing long held do's to blend it a bit more with Heinzie and bells. With bells and Josh. We'll start one more time. And then I'm just kind of trying to add another texture, another layer of etherealism with this kind of, silly kind of, I say silly, it's weird sounds to kind of make it hit that unworldly, ethereal vibe. And now you can hear I've settled into the to the pad to get a really nice warm sound and warm vibe before we settle into the verse, kind of winding it down towards the verse. So yeah, you'll probably notice a lot of the harmonies in this. Josh isn't particularly low, I'm not particularly high, it's all quite close, and that's kind of quite intentional to get that warmer sound, and it really is meant to be a thick, warm sound. You don't want me squeaking up the top and Josh doing his lip bass right at the bottom, because it's not that kind of music. It's really wants to sit in that nice place and feel really warm. So that's why it's done like this. So then we head into verse 1. And now this is the contrast I was talking about. Where now we've really settled down, just me and Josh, to give a complete contrast to the intro. In the video, I asked Eric, who mixes our tracks, to add a little bit of kind of wind sound to match the video, just a really quiet bit of wind sound in the background, just to add that more kind of etherealness to it all. But then you get the contrast again here now, when, I love that bit where it kind of, the chord spreads out. But again, you've got Heinzie on the ooh, me just kind of on it, and Bellum then has taken over the and again it's trying to pack in all those textures. I mean, there's only 4 of us singing. I mean, Josh isn't even in that bit, but it's trying to pack in as many textures with the close harmonies to really try and get that warmth and etherealness in that section. And that kind of continues now. It's all kind of quite, it's about just, yeah, keeping that warmness. That's really what, in this song, this first song is called Vaka, or Untitled Number 1, whatever you want to call it. That's what, it kind of goes by both names. But yeah, it's really, for me, it's really a warm, lovely, chorded song. And yeah, just a lot of use of kind of close harmonies, so there's a lot of kind of semitone clashes and lines that pass each other and come close to each other to really, when you get those really tight harmonies, it gives you that intensity, which really gives you those kind of tingly, warm feelings. So that's probably my favourite song out of the 3, I'd say, in this medley in terms of Sigur Ros songs. But yeah, I absolutely love it. So then now we move on to a song called Hoppy Paulo, which is kind of it's become like the Planet Earth theme. So you might have heard it on Planet Earth. And this again, using the doos to get those rhythmic bouncing off. And you can see the dynamics have really come up now to make this a bit more of a peak. And then it drops right down here. And again, it's just trying to get those contrasts with the thickness of the harmonies and the amount of voices, but also with the volumes. This song is really about kind of those peaks and troughs. But we've still got the doos going on, keeping the rhythm going, because obviously if you ood the whole thing, it'll be very flat in terms of rhythm. And then we move into the third song, which is Staralfur. And then this bit, just like in Breathe, we have that 3-part harmony, again, which I explained in the Breathe video, is kind of really the peak of what we can achieve in terms of big sound, where, you know, we're all together, Josh is rooting it, Miday's got some beats going on in the background, and us 3 are singing the same thing but in 3-part harmony, and that is kind of the peak, and this is kind of the peak of the song. And this is a good trick actually for if you ever do any recordings. You can hear Miday here. Let me just play. Let me play the whole thing and I'll play you what Miday does. So just this transition now. So you can hear that kind of whoosh that Miday's doing. Let me just play it in isolation. Hey, in isolation. There we go. So that's kind of Miday's whoosh. These are really great in recording terms. We use this in a lot of our tracks, especially these kind of ethereal ones, but also in the electronic ones, because what you can do, a lot of the recording we do, other than the solo, we record 2 of. And then when we mix it, we put 1 track on the left and 1 track on the right, and that kind of gives a wider sound. But with these whooshes, because they're really kind of crispy and really a lot of high frequencies, they really feel like they're really far out. Really, really far. So what it does a lovely image when you've got headphones on and listening to on speakers, that it really opens up and widens the sound. So it will sound like everything's kind of here, and then you hear this, which kind of just broadens the whole sound and really makes, it's really good for making things feel really big, and it's you know, it just adds that little bit of tingle. So I'll keep playing. There we go. From so yeah, with this whole song, like, this is the biggest section really, but we haven't really used me day very much. It's all kind of about just being really sparing with the beats here. You know, we don't want to overflood it with beats, because it's this song isn't about the beats, it's about the lovely harmonies, the rich tones, and just the lovely sound of it all. So we've gone really sparingly on beats, but used them in the middle song where kind of it needed a bit of a lift. And again, it's just for the contrast. This bit kind of, you know, dropping off, go back to here, and get a me day really giving it some, and then it just really adds to that contrast. So really, when we first put this together, when the first demo came out, I didn't do any, there wasn't any beats in it. It was all just the 4 singers, and then I kind of went to me day and I was like, look, listen to the songs. I've got an idea of how we want this to go, but you know, let's try and keep it, only use them where necessary. And actually, I think in the end, it's really, really added to that contrast. And then let me just go to where we were. So this is where we got to. So now we're basically returning back to song 1. And the idea of here is kind of that feeling of going back to the beginning with the really luscious chords, really nice chords, and then just kind of taking it back to where we started. So we've gone this long journey, but we've ended up back home. There you go, and there you have it. That's Sigur Ros. That's kind of how it all came together. So I hope you really enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon for another song. Have a good one.
I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing.